It is 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm deciding on doing a video today, and I haven't really had a cup of coffee.
Mapping to consensus. Remain still.
I still don't know how to do the opening to this. Either say welcome or hello, but I know I've decided to call my fans free folks in honor of the books. So, let's do some cleanup work and talk about a couple things that's been going on. And I sound extremely tired, but let's just plow through this. Also, do you guys like the hat in the shots or not? Tell me. If not, we don't have to have the hat. I just figured to put the hat on since my hair looks like absolute shit. I look like absolute shit. So, we just talk. So, Pit Mad is showing up on March 7th as, you gotta pitch your book on Twitter, and then some agent will basically like it, and you basically have an agent. That I'm skipping this time around just due to the mere fact that I am actually prepping my book for Corey's. Why am I doing this? I feel that if I do this, I'm not really trying. Like, I need to really get it like up to that point where if I were to try through Twitter, that I would have a decent chance at, an agent actually looking at it. So right now I'm getting all the stuff set up in case an agent does like it and wants to go further. So that's what I've been doing. I'm also getting ready to send it off to an agent. Luckily, the one I'm wanting to go with is pretty straightforward and easy to do for requirements, so I'm still a little bit worried about it. Now, does it mean I'm immediately not listening to what I did with my beta readers? No. I'm still taking time into editing the fourth draft and making the fifth draft the final draft that the literary agent will be getting. So, that's kind of my stepping stone right now. That's the main goal, is to get whatever it needs to change from 4 to 5, and then 5 be what I'm 100% comfortable with sending out and getting published. Up until the point, like, I've heard rumors that you can get a editor through the publisher if the publisher buys it, but I digress. Finding an editor, again, has been a living nightmare. I really would love to go into detail about it, but again, I'm up to like 15 editors quit. So the best thing I can tell you is the more and more I look out there for an editor, the less and less credible they look to me. It's very hard nowadays, I guess, to find a decent editor where you're not paying a crap ton of money just for them to not really edit your book. Well, you could just use a program on your computer. I digress. I did that for the beta readers copy from the first run for the beta readers, and there were some glaring issues that my friend, who was also beta reading, who had also finished, was like, yeah, dude, why did you put that word in there when it's supposed to be this word? Wait, what? Yeah. Oh, no, the computer selected a different word than the one I tried to spell. Oops. And yes, that happened. Quiet and quite got switched in the system. I don't know why that happened, but again, I digress. So, we're going to talk about my first run of beta readers today. If there was something I missed, post in the comments below. I don't actually know at the moment since it's super early in the morning and I have not had a decent cup of coffee. I figured doing this now since I really cannot sleep. Haven't been sleeping well the last few days. I've been just busy trying to get my stuff together. I'm also almost done with Velocity, the last book in the trilogy, which is great because it has been a long, tedious 5 years of just working on this series. And when I'm done, I will be happy to move on to something else to fill my time until somebody tries to publish the book, because I'm just in a fucking nightmare over editors. So, I sent out a request for beta readers on Twitter, and I had gotten seven people to do it, and 2 people finished. What? Yes. 7 people total, and 2 people finished the book and had some responses. So, to the 2 people that finished, if they even catch this video, thank you. You did something. I am going through your notes. And I am going through and trying to take as much criticism from it as much as I can. Some spots did throw me for a loop, which is bothersome to me because of the mere fact that they threw me for a loop because I don't understand why you would ask certain questions, but I try to answer them as best I can, to the point that I didn't want to come off as a douchebag. And that's kind of the main goal when you're dealing with the beta readers, I've learned, goes back to my video I talked about with criticism. You have to bite the bullet and understand that even though this is your baby, your prize winning horse, or whatever the heck you want to use for something that's precious to you, you got to understand that it's not the greatest thing in the world. And for me, I know this book, this series is crap. Not to say that it's like crap, like, oh, no one's going to read it. No, I know when I look at it, it's ugly. It's absolutely ugly, and that's because I can't write that well, and I have issues with my writing. But I'm not going to be like, well, that's an editor's job to clean it up and make it look fancy. No. I'm finding ways to spot the issues more and fix them other ways. So when I told them to do the beta reading this time, I didn't want them to focus more on the grammar. I wanted them to focus more on the concepts and the characters and the story, so that I have somewhat of a chance to really work those kinks out before going any further. Which, amazingly, I got a couple good comments back for it, but there were a couple scenes in there that they missed, and I was like, wait, what? How is that okay? And we'll get to that in the big part when we get there, because I still have to talk about the fact that I had 7 beta readers and 5 of them quit. 3 of them quit because they had obligations. They couldn't do... Now, when I did it, I did 2 months. I figured 23 chapters, I think, would be kind of stress-worthy, because especially how self-conscious I was on it. I'm like, yeah, this is not so great, so they might have to take a break and walk away from it for a little bit and then come back. To the 2 beta readers that actually finished it, they finished it in a timely manner. They broke it up, half of it for the first month, half of it the second month. Because I started this back, I think January 28th is when I declared it started. And then, no, it could have been 28. It's been a while. I think I started the first week of January, and I was like working on other things while they were starting on it, and they broke it up into the 2 months. So they had broken it up, and I had to sit there, kind of wait. Now, the second run that I'm trying to do, because I only had 2 people finish it out of 7, they're only going to have about a month, because I've realized that they got about halfway through the book in about a month. What if I shorten it down, I get more people I could actually look through it better? That's kind of my goal. So the 3 quit because of obligations. They couldn't really do it in a timely manner. I did offer them a sampler to at least give me the first 5 chapters cleared, so I didn't have any issues with the first 5 chapters. Nevertheless, they really could not do that, and I do not blame them, and I told them, thank you so much for trying to participate. I will be around if you ever need anything, kind of a thing. Like, just have them around so they don't feel guilty or anything. And again, I had one of them drop out mid beta reading. They had a family issue, and I told them, hey, it's fine. I take your opinion more right now than the other people because her notes were really good. I actually did enjoy them, and it finally got to the end of the 2 months, and I felt disappointed that she didn't get time to finish it. Nevertheless, I do wish she would come back and finish it because I will still consider her notes to be valuable, like the other two that have finished and did a wonderful job at doing it. Now, the other two flat out, I had one person flat out quit and didn't even touch the book. Didn't even want to do it. Like, yeah, no, no, don't want to. Why? You haven't even read it yet. Well, I just, doesn't sound like my type of story. Okay. It says clearly right there, can you read sci-fi? Did you just randomly click on me? So I'm assuming that's what happened. I don't hate that person as much. I understand a lot of people want to help out in the community, but that does happen from time to time. And a good word of advice is tell them up front what they're going to be reading. Don't give them the synopsis. Just tell them flat out, hey, this is sci-fi. It's X amount of words. It's this many chapters. Can you do it? In a time frame. I always put a time frame on it because if you don't, then people are just going to take advantage. So, the other person actually really did a bad job. They broke down, I think, the first 3 chapters and then decided to tell me, yeah, I quit. I cannot finish reading this. This is absolute garbage. Really? And then proceeds to dissect why it's crap. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that it's crap. How rude of you. And people don't believe it, but when you look through, I've showed my one friend who went through the notes with me, their notes, they're like, I see where they're trying to critique you, but at the same time, they're coming off blatantly rude. Because you can say something's bad, but saying that it's awful is completely different. So, I already know what's bad. You don't have to hammer it at home for me to know that. Your job is to do A, B, C, D, not X, Y, Z. Again, the whole concept of my beta readers were to dissect the story to make sure there's no inconsistencies or problems with the story, so it wasn't boring or bland, which some parts were. Some parts I'm shocked that they actually enjoyed. And then also characters, are they enjoying the characters? Do they love and hate these characters? So that I can get a common ground on where to improve the characters more. That was the main goal, because I know I had a couple problems with at least a few characters where I was iffy on how they would translate to readers. Because some characters just don't work that well in the grand scheme of things. So unfortunately, it worked out pretty well. The main character so far needs to get beefed up a bit, I guess. Added a little bit more of a, backbone, or make it more three-dimensional, I guess is the word I want to use. Oh God, so tired. But everyone else seemed to have worked pretty fine. There's a lot of people had a couple favorite characters, but who am I kidding? I only had 2 people read it, so they only had 2 people out of 5 characters. They had 2 of their favorites. They weren't the same character, thank God, but they both could agree on one character needed a little bit more improvement. I can totally see that. So going into beta reading, I got a lot more feedback, which is great, because the first group I ever had was my friends that gave me 0 feedback, which sucked, because it felt like nobody read the story. Great friends there, right? But nevertheless, I'm able to improve the story a little bit while I'm working on getting towards the end goal. Now, what does that mean for the rest of this channel and me talking? I will try to improve it a little bit more. I'm not getting feedback, of course. I mean, I've only have 16 subscribers right now, but my main focus is trying to get the first book out the door by at least July. Hoping by July. If not, probably by 2020. By at least the end of 19 or the first quarter of 2020. If not, I'm dead. I'm dead in the water. So, again, follow me on my Twitter. I'll put it somewhere on screen. Stay up to date with me that way. I am also working on a couple of review stuff. The problem with the review stuff is I don't want to do what everyone else does. So I don't want to do like a video game review and just dissect the game, talk about why it doesn't work and all that, because it's just going to be generic channel, whatever. Like, no one's going to watch it, especially if you guys are coming for the writing stuff. So if I do a separate channel for that stuff, it still doesn't matter. So I figure I will probably talk about stuff and discuss things on a larger scale than just doing this stuff. This stuff, as in the writing stuff's fine. Just talking about other things that relate to why I write, I guess. I'll try to find a way to figure that one out, because gaming and video games and geek stuff is kind of my thing. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, I'm looking into maybe doing a Patreon, but not for a while, because I'm still kind of confused by the concept of Patreon. But with YouTube not wanting to pay people, it's kind of sad. I mean, you make content and you don't get paid for your own content of free promotion. It blows my mind, YouTube. Any which way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until the end.